Comey on the panty style. What's going on, everybody? This is ODC, that's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the Wave 2 Arkham Origins Killer Croc from DC Collectibles. This is a 10-inch figure. He's a much larger figure, and he's in pretty good scale with the rest of the action figures from this line. I just got him today in the mail from Among Time, and I do have the whole wave, so I will be uploading that wave, you know, within the next week or two. I have a couple other figures I'm going to upload as well. Yeah, taking a look at him, I just switched my lighting really quick so you can get a better look at his you know, his transitional greens. He's got kind of a really light green going throughout his chest and his bicep here all the way to his forearm, and it kind of blends out to a darker, deep, maybe a hunter green. Looks good though, it looks really good. His pants are brown, and they're kind of like dress pants, kind of like a pinstripe light brown dress pant, and he's got suspenders that go around the sides. Does look good. Articulation wise, he's pretty well done. I have to be honest with you. I'm just gonna switch my lighting back over here. Sorry if that was a bit much there, but he does look pretty good here. I'm actually gonna raise my camera up, so bear with me here. Okay, and I'm back, and I just wanted to raise the camera up a little bit. He is 10 inches tall. He does look pretty nice. I'm gonna have to back him up because he is pretty tall, tall enough to where he is way off camera angle here. So here he is standing up. Kind of has a little bit of weird gapping going on in the hips here. It looks just really bad. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's to get a better range of motion. You can get his legs to go out a little bit, not too much, but I mean, it's really odd gapping here in the hips. So you can see right through it. I don't think I've ever seen a DC Collectibles figure like that before, but he does stand okay. You kind of have to bend his knees a little bit to get him to where you want him to stand. I kind of had him in that weird dynamic pose just for the sake of it, but he does stand okay. If I can get him to, there we go. There he is. I'm just going to bring the camera in here, and he's very well sculpted, very nicely detailed. Like I said, the transitional greens going throughout the body is very well done. He does have bandages on his arms there, covering up his hands. Going over to the belt, I'll just back this up and I'll bring the figure in. Going up to the belt here, it is a black belt with a brown pants, as I stated before. And like I said, he's got one suspender that's kind of broken, and the other one reaches all the way around to the back. I actually kind of prefer this look better for him. I think it makes him look a little bit more like a traditional Killer Croc as opposed to the Arkham Asylum one, which I'll get to in a minute. But just taking a look at some of his sculpting here, sculpt work. Sorry, I'm just readjusting my lighting here so we don't get too much shadows. But it looks pretty good. All the scales going throughout the body. Looks really nice. Like how it's kind of dipping in here. Kind of giving you that he's maybe flexing his back inwards. So if you like push your shoulders back, you kind of get that dip in your back. That's pretty cool. Like I said, he does have sculpted and nicely detailed and painted bandages on his wrist and forearms and hands. And the face sculpt looks pretty good. Getting a lot of shadows here for some reason. I can't. There we go. But looks good. The mouth, unlike the Arkham Asylum Killer Croc, the mouth is not articulated. The head is articulated though. I'd say he's got much better articulation with this figure than the Arkham Asylum one. You really had to be delicate with that, but I'll get to that in a second. Just to show you his articulation, just back him up here. His head does move side to side. It can look up, more so up than down. Well, I guess no, more down than up actually. So I take that back. Pretty decent range of motion. I have seen people pop the head off and actually Dremel a little bit into the head just to give it a little bit more of a range of motion looking backwards. So, I mean, you can do that. I personally don't like doing that, but a lot of people do. But his head can do a rotation. I'm not sure if it'll do a full 360. It's kind of fighting me a little bit. So, I mean, I wouldn't push it. As far as his arms, be very careful with these DC Direct larger bodied arms. They do have clear plastic in there, and they have been known to snap like my other Killer Croc. But his arms can swivel. I guess if you push it, you can do a full 360. I wouldn't, like I said, but his range of motion goes out about that far and stays in. Come on. There you go. He's got a bicep swivel, a single bend at the elbow, which is very stiff. Be careful. He has a wrist rotation and a wrist hinge, so that's pretty nice. He does have a bicep swivel, a ab crunch, which goes more in than outward. He does have a waist swivel. He does have a slight T-jointed hip. It goes out about a little bit more so on this leg than this leg. This leg doesn't really want to move at all, but it does go forward nicely, and it does go back nicely. And he does have a single bend at the knee and a swivel at the knee. And he also has a hinge. No, maybe he does not have a hinge. Yes, he does have a hinge. It's just really stiff. So be careful. He does have a hinge there at the feet, so you can pop it back and forth, but it's just really stiff. And he does have that nice ankle pivot that we all know from Marvel Legends, but or most familiar with Marvel Legends. But so there's his Killer Croc's articulation. It's pretty nice, I'll be honest with you. I think it's much better than the Arkham Asylum Killer Croc, which I'll actually bring in here right now and do a little, excuse me, size comparison. There's the Arkham Asylum Killer Croc. There is the Arkham Origins Killer Croc. Now it's really up to you who you like better. I would say paint and detail wise, this is the better route to go. Plus he has articulated mouth, so you can shut it or open it or whatever you want to do. And he also has these nice, he has his nice collar and these nice chains hanging from both arms. Now, and oh, also from his feet as well. So I have done a review of this. I did it, I think about a year ago almost. But if you want to check it out, you can go through my library and check it out. As far as articulation goes, I would definitely go with this guy. If you're looking for an articulated Killer Croc, this is the one to go for. This one's got to be very delicate with. He tends to break. I actually had to get this one replaced at the time, so just be forewarned. This is the one to go for articulation. That one's to go for sculpting. So I mean, not to say that this guy isn't well sculpted. He is. I just think that this guy's got a little bit better with sculpting and paint applications. So with that being said, if you have to pick one Killer Croc, who do you go for? I will show you in a moment. Here are all the Killer Crocs that I own. This is my go-to Killer Croc still as of now. I do like the Origins Killer Croc, but this is the one that's in my Rogues Gallery display. I love this Killer Croc. I have done a review of this also, so if you want to check that out as well, this is the DC Direct, excuse me, DC Direct Batman Rogues Gallery Secret Files Killer Croc. So if you want to check that out, you can. Let's get all those out there, and I'll show you the size comparison here between these two. This Killer Croc's a little bit taller just because this Killer Croc is a little bit more hunched over. So get him out of the way now and bring in somebody else. We'll bring in, here's Arkham Asylum Batman standing next to Killer Croc. And then we have, obviously, Arkham Origins Batman standing next to Arkham Origins Killer Croc. So he is in pretty good scale, I think. So there you go. And another thing I wanted to point out, he does have some blood, actually some blood stains on his wrist here. So there you go. Like I said, and his fingernails are painted and everything like that is, and his toenails are too. Got some really nice sculpting on this guy. Sculpting does continue to the bottom, and it says DC Comics does have one peg hole, only one. So if you're having a hard time standing this guy, you can at least give him one stand to help him. He kind of has a tough time standing just straight up. You kind of have to get him into that like kind of dynamic pose, which I did in the beginning of the review. He doesn't really want to stand straight up too much. I mean, which I don't mind. I mean, you can get Killer Croc into some cool crouching poses, I guess. I guess I'll just try and go back to what I had before. But the ankle pivot helps a lot. So, like I said, if you're looking for a well-articulated Killer Croc, this is the way to go. But I mean, all three have good sculpting. Good. There's something good about all three of those Killer Crocs. But with that being said, I'm definitely going to recommend this figure. Stay tuned for more of the Arkham series figures reviews. This is a Wave 2, which consists of Deathstroke, Deadshot, Firefly, Killer Croc, and Anarchy in this wave. Yeah, so with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the flip side.